back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Connor Williams. We're back with another one of our 24/7 news report videos. As always, we start with our headline news, and our headline news is that negotiations between Tottenham and Everton are thought to have reached an impasse, with Everton preferring a season-long loan deal while Tottenham are pushing for a permanent transfer. This is regarding Harry Winks and come from the iPaper Sport. Everton are trying to reach an agreement with Harry Winks, but considering other players, talks for Winks are thought to have reached a stumbling block, with Everton preferring a loan while Spurs are pushing for a permanent transfer. That again's come from Sam Cunningham from the iPaper. The important bit here is that we're looking at other options. So I know people myself are a bit dubious on Harry Winks, but it does look like the club have other options as well, which is interesting. Also, while we're on about Harry Winks, Everton have held further talks with Tottenham midfielder Harry Winks. Like I said, they'd prefer a loan deal, but Spurs don't want to. Winks has been discussed as a possible make weight in the Richarlison transfer that's come via the Daily Mail. The big no on using him, using him as a make weight in the Richarlison deal. If we're going to sell Richarlison, let's just get the money so we can get a replacement. I don't want 10 million in Harry Winks or 20 million in Harry Winks, and then us go, 20 million is not enough to get a replacement. Oh, well, looks like we'll just do without. Like, be clever, Everton, for Christ's sake, be clever. Harry Winks, I don't think, is someone that we need to start taking. I don't think he's someone we need to start losing big chunks of the Richarlison money for. It's not something that I particularly would like to see. If he happens, a loan for Harry Winks, I'm more on board with. No risk, no fee. I'd much prefer that, and I hope we dig our heels in and say no, only a loan. He's not done enough to push for a big transfer. Speaking of other midfielders, Frank Lampard is supposedly after another old Chelsea player, and that is Hakim Ziyech. Apparently, they could part way with him following Chelsea's takeover. Lampard is keen on raiding the club for his old club for the Moroccan international services. Ziyech did well at Ajax. He's shown signs of it at Chelsea. According to Give Me Sport, the 33 million man is being allowed to leave should the 29-year-old want another crack at the Premier League. Good player. I don't think he's a wing. Wouldn't want us to play him out on the wing. If we did, he'd do a James Rodriguez. He wouldn't really be a winger. He'd be a floater inside the middle. I'd much prefer to see him as a number 10. I think that'd be good. Him as a number 10, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. As an out-and-out winger, he wouldn't be that. He'd float in. So it's interesting, isn't it? We also have the news that cash-rich Newcastle United could swoop in for Richarlison if they fail to sign Rennes striker Hugo Ekitike. This is according to CBS journalist Ben Jacobs, with the Brazilian already understood to be courted by London clubs Tottenham, Arsenal and Chelsea. If the Magpies struggle to complete the deal, Eddie Howe will be prepared to look elsewhere. Jacobs told the Football Terrace he is a player who's available on the market. There are a few currently looking at him. Newcastle are considering a swoop as well if they're going to get Ekitike. I don't think they'll get Richarlison at all. I don't think they're up to his ambition yet. They're not in any European competitions. I don't think they're going to win a cup yet. He'll want to go to Chelsea ideally, or Tottenham because they're making moves in the window. One of those two. He's already apparently said no to Arsenal. It'll be one of those two clubs he really eyes up. Speaking of Richarlison, he's big talk today. Tottenham are to firm up interest in him, and Leeds United's Rafinha, after ending their interest in Manchester City striker Gabriel Jesus. That's come from the Standard Sport. Absolutely dying for a Brazilian, aren't they, Spurs? Dying for a Brazilian. Couldn't get Jesus, so they want Rafinha or Richarlison. Richarlison plays a bit more central than Rafinha, so it depends what they're after. I mean, Conte, some of the signings they're making, Spurs do look like quite good. I've seen a couple of people say, the dark horses. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think they're up to the level of the top two yet, but they could certainly give Chelsea, Arsenal, and West Ham a run for the money for that top 4 spot, that 3rd spot. Looks to be an interesting season for Spurs. We also have that Everton have inquired about Hull City winger Keane Lewis Potter. This comes from the Daily Mail. I don't think they know what's going on with this. At first, there were rumours that we'd give 2 million to Hull. That came off Twitter, off of Space. Then we heard that Hull valued them at 30 million the other day, and now we're inquiring about him, which makes me think that the 2 million one, I don't see that being a viable. One of these sources is lying or doesn't fully know and understand the story, because you don't go from a 2.5 million pound bid to 30 million being valued to now just inquiring about him. It's all a bit mumble jumbled. Nobody really knows in the window, do they? Like I say on this most of the time, there's a reason I read out the sources. These aren't our in the knows. We're not an in the know. This isn't our rumours. We're not making these. The papers have made these up. I'm just putting them in a video so you can easily gather all the news. We also have news on the takeover. The Peter Kenyon-led American consortium negotiated by Everton believe their bid is progressing positively after touring Finch Farm and Bramley Moor. That comes from The Athletic. The Athletic goes on to continue, the exclusivity deal agreed with Mejiri is close to expiring, but there is hope the deal can be concluded that sees the Kenyan consortium become the majority shareholders within weeks. So it looks like these are going to get it. I'm not going to go too far into it. I've said my opinion on it when it first broke. I'm not glad to see the back of Mejiri. I'm not glad to see some of the names being bound around in this consortium. They're not good people. And before somebody says you're not going to get a billionaire socialist, by not good people, I mean they're really bad people. I'm not asking for a local billionaire or a socialist billionaire. I'm just asking for somebody who's not a horrible person. But that's all I'm saying on it, because you guys in the comments, I read them, and some of you aren't fussed on who owns us, and that's your prerogative. That's your opinion. I am a bit fussed on the type of people that own us. But yeah, the one good thing I will say is it looks like then this won't drag out. It looks like if it's happening, it's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. That's the best way to do it. Chelsea's dragged on for a bit, but once they found someone to take it over, it was done quite quickly. I mean, if he's selling, he needs to sell. Don't drag your feet. The transfer window is a bit mental, and we can't afford to miss out on weeks of it. And we just don't need this much uncertainty over the club again. This happened last summer, this uncertainty, and it just with when Ancelotti leaving and stuff, and it sort of ruined us a little bit, didn't it? Panic decisions were being made, like Benitez. Yeah, we don't need another summer like that, so we need to get this sorted if it's happening. But that is all we've got time for. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below your thoughts on any of the stuff I've discussed. What do you think about Harry Winks? Are you excited for him, or are you in the negatives for him? Or are you like me, you just don't know? Let me know where you think Richarlison's going to end up. And let me know your thoughts on this Lewis Potter. Are we bidding for him? Are we getting him? And let me know if you've seen him play for Hull and what he's like. I look forward to reading them, and I'll see you guys very, very soon.